Hello, I'm attorney Tammy Saltzman, and you are watching Divorce Connection Network. I am so pleased today to introduce you to someone I've known for a very long time, Jan Rothenberg. And hi Jan.
Hi Tammy.
How are you?
I'm great. It's so good to be here.
Good to be here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Jan and I met through a group called Women for Excellence, and we've been friends for about 10 years now, for about as long as you've been doing design work, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about Jan. Jan went to the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale, and that allowed her to become an allied ASID member, and she has a company called Good Karma by JMR Designs, Inc., and we are going to talk about today how to change the energy in your home once your spouse... So Jan...
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And tell our audience some of your tips on how to clear out their negative energy.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm not a big believer in throwing everything away, such as pictures, because those are legacies for your children, to show your children that you once were in love and that they did have a happy home base. As Tammy mentioned, you can box up all of those photo albums, mementos, things like that, into boxes, onto shelves, and put red tape either around the floor area, around the box, something to seal the energy into one space so that it doesn't enter back into your new space. Or if you have a storage unit somewhere off-site, put them in there. This way, you've got the memories, the people that have passed, all of those good things. I always recommend to take a good assessment of your space. You know, once the dust settles and things calm down, and is it you and your children? Who's living in your home? And start to create where you're going, not where you've been. And that means taking things down off the walls and off the shelves that were tied to your marriage. It could be mementos from a trip, photographs, wedding pictures, holiday photos, even a collection. Things of that nature that I just referred to, the packing away process. You can give those things away. You can sell the things you don't care about. Things that are near and dear to your heart, you can box away. But get them out of your current living space and start to put things in that make you happy. And I know some of you will say, well, I'm on a budget. I don't have the money. And that's fine and well. You know, if you can hire a professional and redo everything, great. But if you can't, there are so many budget-friendly ways. Some of my favorites, Home Goods, Pier 1, Z Gallery. Pick up some new items. Put them in your home. Look at what you want to do and create. Maybe pictures of trips you want to take or places that make you happy. Sunrises, sunsets, things like that. And one of the most important things is the bedroom. And I highly recommend a new bed, a new mattress, new energy in the bedroom. Even if you can't do that, definitely new bedding, new sheets, new quilts, new pictures, as much new as you can put into that bedroom, because that's really the personal space, will help you to move forward and possibly create that new relationship in the future.
You don't necessarily need to buy retail, and you don't necessarily need to buy everything new. One or two pieces could just really warm up a room, and eliminating and taking away the things. I remember, like, when my ex-husband left, I emptied out the entire nightstand and his entire closet, and I left it empty.
Right.
You know, so that new energy could fill in the space, and maybe even a new relationship would come in as well.
Absolutely, Tammy. It's very important for the former spouse that's not living in the space to take their things. You don't want to leave remnants of somebody that's not living there anymore. I do want to address the children. Depending on the age of your kids, it's very important when you split that they feel comfortable, stable, and secure. Sometimes they move out of the marital home into another home. Sometimes they stay. But involve them in the process of their room, whether they're 5 or 15, or even kids in college. They need to come home to a space that's theirs, that has their things in it. And I'm a believer that it's okay to have a photo of their dad or mom in the room. with the child, so they can remember that when they're not with that parent is still with them in their heart.
You know, my son has photos of his dad in his bedroom, and he just recently asked me if I would give him a photo of him and I together that he could put in the house where his dad is. And I was so touched by that, and it makes me very happy that he wants to have me at his dad's house.
Right.
And I've never asked him to take down the pictures in his room of him and his dad. He even has one of our wedding pictures in his room, and it makes him feel good. God bless.
I totally believe in that. And also possibly a conversation with the non-residential spouse, or if you're splitting time 50-50, that the rooms in both houses be comparable for the kids. Take them shopping, let them pick out a quilt, even if it's at Target or whatever, so that both rooms reflect the child, so that when they go back and forth, they have a sense of comfort in each space, and it will help them to make that adjustment so much easier.
So limiting that would be good too.
Absolutely.
When you clear out your room, I know that someone told me that I should smudge, and not everyone knows what smudging is. You can go to like a candle store or a New Age bookstore and buy some sage, and you can burn the sage and just kind of walk from room to room. I walked around the perimeter in a clockwise manner, and while I was doing that, I opened all the windows and I I felt like all the energy was renewing, and it was more of a visualization process for me.
Absolutely.
And I felt really good afterwards, and the house smelled like sage. It was delicious.
It's nice to do that. I totally recommend anything that makes you feel better. Anything that will clear the energy. You don't have to have a professional do it. As Tammy just mentioned, she did it herself. You can do it with a friend. You can say intentions as you're going into these areas. You can go into corners, because energy collects in corners. And, whether you want to ring a bell or a chime, whatever it is that makes you feel that you're having that fresh start is so very important.
I totally agree. The better your space is, the better your emotional is. I find that when you're happy at home, there is some kind of contentment inside of you. When you're not happy at home and when you walk in, everything reminds you of all the bad and not the good, it's not a good place for your growth and potential. When people get divorced, they're ending one chapter and beginning a new chapter.